My name is Nolan Sitz. I'm an architect at SCB, and along with my colleague Yejin Lee, are representing Amley Residential. This is our second DRB presentation. Over the next few minutes, we want to refresh your memory on our project, take you through a summary of your comments from DRB1, and walk you through our responses. To refresh your memory, the project consists of two buildings and is located at the intersection of Avondale Way and Redmond Way. To the south is the Redmond Central Connector and future light rail. In total, we have 400,000 square feet of residential gross, 376 units, 442 parking spaces, and 11,000 square feet of retail. At DRB1, the board was very supportive. In general, they liked the overall composition, material choices of the west building, and presence along Redmond Way. They also liked the scale of the buildings, step backs, and organization of the sites. On the east building, some of the board members expressed concern about the coloration of the corrugated metal. They were also interested in seeing more modulation along Avondale Way. Lastly, the board wanted us to explore the elevations and spaces fronting the RCC. This is a picture of the corrugation and coloration we're proposing for the metal. The corrugation is 2 2/3 inches apart, 7/8 inches thick, with a powder coat black finish. We think this is very sophisticated as the corrugation will always catch light, highlighting the texture and depth of the material. You'll also see some reflections and hot spots in the metal depending on the conditions of the day, cloudy or sunny. This is a street perspective standing in the center of Avondale Way so that you can see the corrugated metal and how it integrates with other materials. We ran the view as a short animation to show you how dynamic the corrugated metal is. Notice how it catches light and changes throughout the day.
At the top right corner, you can see the design we proposed at the DRB meeting. In response to the comments from the first DRB, we've studied two options. Option 1 looks at maintaining our initial design intent with the front, mid, and back while addressing the modulation concerns, while Option 2 looks at an alternate scheme that emphasizes the top, middle, and base with the lighter gray corrugated metal. To address the comments about modulation along Avondale Way extension, we've added 18-inch deep insets to mitigate the perception of the long facade and integrated balconies into those spaces. This not only adds visual interest, but also creates more opportunities for residents to access outdoor space. We also extended the black corrugated metal up by 2 feet to create variation along the roof line. At this east elevation, we've added more planting and applied wall treatments to minimize the perception of a blank concrete wall. Similarly, we've added planting and green wall elements at the south elevation to enhance the pedestrian experience along the RCC. We also changed the color of the balconies to add visual interest along the courtyard facade. Option 2 looks at expressing the materials horizontally and creating a top, middle, and base along the facade. We maintained the 18-inch deep insets for modulation along Avondale Way extension. We also looked at a lighter gray corrugated metal color and inverted the window accents to create material variation. Along the east and south elevations, we've reduced the frame elements to the lower 3 floors. In doing this, we're able to continue the design idea of top, middle, and base to all sides of the building.
We also wanted to show you our updates along the RCC. This is a section and plan through the south side of the site. We programmed the porch into 3 spaces for both residents and public. Play porch, right outside the fitness center, we thought this was perfect for 4 squares, hopscotch, and other chalk games. Rest, casual seating groups, chair rail for drinks, and a great space to rest along the RCC. Finally is the pooch porch. This is a fenced-in area for dogs to run. At the ground floor along the south, we have 2 options. The first option is made up of a wall of board-formed concrete, punched openings with planters and green trellises. This, in conjunction with the various seating groups, makes for a very active and inviting space. The second option takes the language of the dark tracks in the big windows and brings it down to the ground floor. Here we inverted the color of the tracks to silver so that it blends with the concrete better. Overall, we think the activated porches along the RCC is a win-win. Encouraging foot traffic to these areas reduces the potential for crime along the RCC and is in line with good environmental design. We also wanted to show you a view from the light rail. You can see the upper level step backs, courtyard, and activity at the ground floor along the RCC. Next is Avondale Way extension. We're looking at the extension as both a street and Woonerf. Our preference is Woonerf as the space between the buildings will be safer for residents to cross. The landscape plan reinforces the Wooner by pushing the planting bed from one end of the street to the other. This is a rendering standing in Avondale Way as a street. And this is how it looks as a Wooner. Notice how the planting bed alternates from side to side, slowing traffic down and making the street more pedestrian friendly. And this is how it looks in the winter. Plantings will have both deciduous and conifers so that the landscaping looks green and good all year round.
Now we want to walk you through a collection of street-level perspectives. We think these views represent vignettes of how the project will be experienced by pedestrians in relation to the surrounding context. This first view is from the RCC, looking north down Avondale Way extension. This next view is looking down Redmond Way after exiting the highway with the existing gas station in the foreground. Next, we look down Avondale Way extension from the main intersection at Redmond Way. And next is a perspective looking at the retail plaza at the northwest corner of our west building. And here's a closer view of that plaza and how it's activated by the retail that spills out from the plaza. And this view shows the intimate pedestrian experience along Redmond Way. And lastly, we want to leave you with this animation of the view walking home from the light rail station. We're excited to see how the project will engage pedestrians from the RCC and help activate the space between the light rail station in the future. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing your comments.